Behind the Roar, the official podcast of West Tigers.
G'day, welcome to episode 53 of Behind the Roar, the official podcast of West Tigers, where we give it to you straight and where we learn more about the people and the stories behind this great club. Behind the Roar is proudly sponsored by PWA, that is Pro Wrestling Australia. Well, this week's guest on Behind the Roar is one of the best props really ever to pull on a West Tigers jersey. He played 173 games for West Tigers over 10 seasons after joining the club from Cronulla Sharks. So he joined us in 2006. He also wore the green and gold of Australia on 5 occasions. That was in 2011, and it was that same year where he played one State of Origin game for New South Wales. As we celebrate West Tigers' 25th season in the NRL, it is a very warm welcome back to the club. A good old-fashioned prop who really did have a cult following. Keithy Galloway, welcome to Behind the Roar.
Thank you, mate. Pleasure to be here.
Mate, you look fit as a fiddle. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for jumping in. We'll talk about what you're doing post-retirement. It was a while ago now, but you're obviously part of the West Tigers alumni. But you're still keeping in shape, right? What are you doing these days?
Oh, mate, I love the gym and all that sort of stuff. I try to make it a lifestyle after I finish footy to keep fit. Didn't want to let myself go, and mentally it's good for me too, mate. I love training and get down about, yeah.
Yeah, well, mate, you honestly, you look like you could pull the boots on. We've got a few injuries. What do you think?
Mate,
Leichhardt Saturday?
Oh, mate, I'd love to.
Hey.
I miss it. I miss it.
Do you
dearly,
miss it
mate.
that much?
Yeah. I don't miss the training and things like that, but game day and things like that, mate.
Yeah,
it was unreal, man. Yeah.
What do you miss most about it? Because I've spoken to a few former teammates that my age and way back when we pulled on the boots for the last time, but you still sort of feel like what. Not the waking up the next morning, but that camaraderie, but probably more so throwing yourself into battle with the bloke next to you.
Definitely, mate. Like you said, the camaraderie. Every day you're sort of with your mates. You become best mates. You spend that much time with your teammates. You become really close. You form really good friendships, and just going into battle, things like that. That's probably what I miss the most, mate.
Yeah. You keep them busy though, and you're working these days on the wharfs, yeah? And you have been for a while?
Yeah, I've been out there for about 6 years now, so that's part of my life now too.
I tell you what, you could put together, and I was chatting to you before, you could put together a very, very strong first 13 of blokes, former NRL players working on the wharfs. We might try and come up with a jot down a team.
I think they did it a while ago.
Yeah, I think
I'll probably leave someone out if I try and put a team together, but there's plenty of there's plenty of big names. I wouldn't even make the front row there.
Oh no, of course you would. Of course you would. Who you got there? Les Davidson
And
Cement Gillespie.
Cement Gillespie.
Former West Magpies Cement Gillespie.
Yeah,
well, let's do it now. Who else have we got out there? Steve Maven.
Yeah, Mavo's there. Darren Brown's there.
Brownie.
Brent Sherwood. Corey Hughes. Adam Peake.
Well, there you go.
Bo Falloon. Mate, there's more. I just can't
rattle
think.
them off.
Yeah, there's a few more.
What is it? Retired footballers just think, well, okay, we can go into real estate, maybe a policeman, go a PE teacher, we'll go to the wharfs.
Yeah, mate, it's a pretty good job. It's you do shift work, you got to work weekends and things like that. But it's a pretty good job, mate.
And you're doing the night shift, right?
This week I am, yeah. So it's like rotating shift work. So sometimes I'm on days, sometimes afternoons, sometimes nights. So
yeah. A laborious job, or you're on the cranes, or
yeah, I do a few things out there. So I drive a gantry crane, a heavy forklift. I'm a safety officer, like I'm in the safety committee out there. So things like that, yeah. It's a few different things I can do out there. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. Well, was going to chat about some of that. We've done that. Yeah. Keith, I don't know if you've watched or listened to Behind the Roar, this podcast before. Pretty basic format because we're basic guys around here. Right. Oh, I am anyway. So what we do, we have a set of 6, right? We'll get to know a bit more about you. For those that don't already know a lot about you, but it's great to have you to reminisce and have you back in the building. We'll talk a bit of footy as well. A few questions from the crowd because you were a cult figure. So there's been a few send some questions through, which I'll throw them at you. And then at the back end of the potty, with about 5 to go, we're going to get you up on the ropes, top ropes. It's turnbuckle time, okay? It's just a quick quiz sponsored by Pro Wrestling Australia. And I reckon you would be custom built to jump in the ring. Ever thought of it?
I'd give it a crack. Well, I'd give anything a crack.
Well, it's about acting, and you've done a bit of that as well. So there, yeah, pro wrestling, it is all pretty much acting, isn't it? I reckon you'd be just built for it. Throw some names out there. What would your ring name be, or your wrestling name? Keithy G?
Yeah, Big Red.
Big
Wasn't
Red.
there a wrestler called Big Red?
Probably Big Red. Was that Alex Seyfarth? Keithy G, the Keith Eater. Yeah,
Nah, mate.
Keith the Beef.
We'll work on these names later.
Okay.
Eh?
Well, let's talk to PWA first.
Sweet.
I reckon we could be onto something here. You have to work it around your shift work.
Yeah, all right.
Right.
We'll see.
Well, if you go to the top of the tree in pro wrestling, I want a little bit of ching-ching, all right? A bit of commission my way. Coming up with the idea.
Yep. Sweet.
All right, okay. Before we dive into to the set of six, mate, let's just go through a bit of club news as well, a fair bit about. A really big day for the club, obviously, this coming Saturday at Leichhardt Oval. We've got all three grades are in action, Flag Cup and the NRL. Jersey Flags against the Warriors, that's at 10:55. Not 11 a.m., 10:55. Don't ask me why, but it is. New South Wales Cup, we also play the Warriors. That's at 20-1. And then round 15 in the NRL up against the Titans, a 3 o'clock kickoff for that one. Quite a few team changes following that heavy loss to the Dragons last Friday in Wollongong. Really disappointing second half. We won't dwell on that. The boys were up by 2 points at half time. So what have we got? Api Coruscant, he's named at halfback. So he comes in for Bud Sullivan, who's having surgery or just had surgery on a broken finger. Lockie Galvin is also out due to a hand injury. So Aiden Caesar, he's back after 4 weeks suspension. So he jumps straight back into number 6 with Appy at 7. Talon De Silva will wear the 9 jersey. That'll be his first game of the season for Tal. Solomon Aliamalo, he's out with a HIA, injured in Wollongong. Charlie Staines moves back onto the wing. Brent Naden comes back into the centres. He started last weekend's match on the bench. Alex Seyfarth, he moves to the bench, and Fanua Pole will start in the second row. So I imagine playing an edge forward role. And Solomon Atape, so he comes onto the bench. It's great to see Adam Dewey also back in the team list. Yes, in the extended team list for the first time since injuring his ACL for a third time. That was round 6 against Parramatta Eels. It was an Easter Monday match last year. It's been a really long road for Ad, so we're all keeping our fingers crossed. And look, I know he's ready. Physically he's ready, but mentally it's been such a journey for him. So well done, mate. Do get out there and support him if you can. That, as I said, that reserve grade game will kick off at 12:40 on Saturday. It will be 432 days. 432 days since Ads last played a game. The NRL, they started their pre-season last week. It was great to see the NRLW squad training alongside the NRL boys at our Members Day on Monday. And well done to 3 of our NRLW development players as well. They've been named in the New South Wales Under-19s team, so well done, girls. Claudia Brown, plus 2 of our new signings, Chelsea Saville and Evie McGrath. So all 3 of you well done. All right, well, that is a wrap of the club news.
Pro Wrestling Australia is back in the heart of the Sydney CBD. Live June 14th at the Metro Theatre with the return of the King of the Metro 30-person Rumble match. Get your tickets now at Ticketek.
Keithy Galloway, why don't we dive in then to the opening set of 6, all right? You ready to rock and roll?
Let's go.
Okay. This is not your NRL debut, Keithy, okay? It is your West Tigers debut. It's round 1. It's 2006. It's against the Dragons. Now, your starting props are your good mate Bryce Gibbs and John Scandalis. You come off the bench. It's at Telstra Stadium. Your skipper is Brett Hodgson. Benji and Scotty Prince, your halves. It's all coming back to you. You're remembering all this?
Yeah.
Robbie Farrow is your hooker. The referee is Paul Simpkins, and there is the whistle. Alrighty, tackle number 1, Keithy. Okay, you've just come off the bench. You're coming off the back fence. Tell us a bit about your junior footy, your pathway firstly to the NRL and to Cronulla.
Yeah, well, I started at Brighton Seagulls when I was a kid. I think I was under 7s and 8s. I was there in the St. George comp, and I lived in Brighton Sands, and then I went over to Mascot in the South comp. So I spent about 4 years there because Mascot and Brighton just on the other side of the airport. But two different comps. I was a South Junior until I was about 13, 14, and then went over to Cronulla. Yeah, right. Went to the Cronulla Juniors and just went through the pathways there. Matthews Cup, SG Ball. Yeah. Played schoolboys, all that sort of Australian schoolboys, all that sort of stuff, and got graded at the Sharks when I played my first game at 17 there, and then a couple of years there. Then I was off contract, talking to a few clubs, and ended up deciding to come to the Tigers.
Do you remember much about that NRL debut at the Sharks?
Yeah, well, I sort of just I wasn't training. I was at school, so I wasn't really training with the tops. They'd bring me in school holidays, train with them. I went on a pre-season camp, things like that, and then
17, huh?
And then the Chris Anderson just called me into his office one day and said, "Oh, mate, I'm going to give you a start next week." And yeah, that was it, mate. It was pretty daunting. We're coming up against the Warriors, and they were a pretty strong, formidable pack. But like once you get out there, you realise it's just another game of footy. The boys might be a bit bigger and quicker, but yeah, I loved it. Yeah,
wow, at 17. Do you remember who was coaching the Warriors at the time? Similar name to your coach.
Might have been Daniel Anderson.
Daniel, yeah. G'day, Daniel, if you're a listener, mate. He's been through his own tough times recently.
I've heard that, poor guy,
yeah, former schoolmate of mine is Daniel. Breaking away, family life, mate. What these days? And post footy, what's the family?
Yeah, I've got two beautiful little kids. Boy and a girl, Kingston and Aspen. So
I love it, Kingston and Aspen.
Yeah, Aspen. Yeah. So now they're now proud father. Sort of, I got them part time. Yeah. So I cherish it, mate. As you know, kids are beautiful, and really enjoy being a dad.
The names, where'd you come up with those? They weren't conceived in the ski fields or anything.
Don't think I got the money to go to Aspen.
Right.
But just Kingston. You know, they were both surprises. If it was a boy, it was always going to be Kingston, and he came out first. And then just Aspen. We sort of went through it and just thought it was a really nice name, and it was pretty. I haven't really met any other girls with that name, and it really suits it now. So yeah, beautiful names. Post retirement, how you paying the bills? We've been all through that. You're running the wharfs with Cement Gillespie, and there's Davidson and Brownie and co. That's all right. Tell me more about now your acting career. We shouldn't say an acting career, but how did you get in? So take us through the story, right? Because you've tried your hand at acting. I reckon you'd. Well, it was just Cole Lovett who played here. I was at Ava Seaman Fanai's 30th. Yeah. Probably 2-3 years ago, and bumped into Cole. We spoke. I hadn't seen him for a while, and he was telling me what he was doing. He goes, "Mate, I'd love you to."
Back row, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he was telling me he's doing this movie. He goes, "I'd love you to play just this small role in it," and blah blah blah. And then I said, "Yeah, sweet mate, for sure." And that was the convo. And after that, didn't speak for a while. Then he just hit me up one time. He goes, "You still keen?" I said, "It was just a small little role in this movie, but it was different."
The movie's called Licorice.
Licorice, yeah.
And it hasn't premiered yet, I don't think.
It hasn't premiered. I think the premiere should be this year, but I think there was an article on there saying that I'm an actor and all this sort of stuff. But I
read an article last night. Yeah, I'm telling you, Keithy, and it said when you're over playing footy with Leeds, I'm sure this article said that you said, quote, "I did a bit of acting, some lessons over there."
I've got to find out who this journo is, mate, because I definitely didn't say I did.
Well, there you go. Don't believe everything you read is the moral of the story. So you haven't done any acting classes, but I reckon you fit the mould of a tough guy. Hard man, stand over merchant. You could.
No, I'm too nice, mate.
Too nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hardly a Hugh Grant type role, though. Really? I mean, Keithy, come on. This leads me back to the pro wrestling bit. I reckon you're custom built for that. Now, listen. So away from footy, when you're not acting, what else does Keithy Galloway get up to?
Just the kids working. Socialising, just trying to enjoy life, stay positive and things like that. Like I love getting out of bed. I love keeping fit, going to the gym. Just things like that, mate.
You're in, as I said, great shape. How is the bod? Like, are there things you can't do? Like a lot of boys that come back, former players, sit in that chair or limping around.
Yeah, no, my body's. Well, people go, "What are you limping for?" a lot, and I've just made it's part and parcel of playing footy for so long. So the body, I should concentrate a lot more on my flexibility and mobility, but feel pretty stiff and a bit arthritic, but it is what it is.
No regrets, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it could be a whole lot worse. Righto, so we're up to tackle 6. Who was the referee? I can't even bloody remember. Simpkins, was it? You can't remember who the ref was?
I don't remember.
Debut? No.
I don't remember any of the rest, mate.
No. I think it was. Righto, so here's tackle 6, Keithy. Right, so listen carefully here, right? Now, the West Tigers alumni, which we launched, we started that this year, which is great. We'll have a quick chat about that. They've chosen you to lead the tour to Vegas. Okay, it's a fundraising tour for our new West Tigers Empower community program. Okay, so you're over there. You're going to be doing some good work. It's all expenses paid, Keithy. Okay. You have to take 3 former players with you. 4 nights will do you. 4 nights only, okay? Charity to West Tigers Empower. I need you to tell me who those 3 former players are that you're taking with you and give me a little reason why you might be taking each one.
All right, I'll probably take Benji, good talker, really switched on.
Okay.
Can handle himself.
Yes. In all manners of...
Things like that.
Okay, Benji's in.
Probably Bomber, Johnny Morris.
Bomber, the assistant coach, is in.
He used to organise a lot of our functions outside of...
Was he the social guy?
He was the social guy, yeah. He was the social guy. He was really good at that. He always used to have barbecues. He'd organise end-of-season trips and all that stuff. So
Bomber's in, nice.
Bomber's in, and probably Bryce Gibbs for entertainment value.
Bryce
Gibbs. But I don't think he'd last the 4 nights in Vegas. I think he'd come home early.
So Bryce, Bomber, and all B's.
Yeah.
And
there could easily be some more, but
no, they're
the 3 that came to the top of my head.
I like that. Benj, Bomb, and Bryce. I was talking to Scando out before he came in, and I said to you, and he said, "Yeah, I just saw Keithy." I said, "Give me something." He said, "Well, just ask me about the time they had a bit of a stoush out there." You and Bryce, you all right these days?
Yeah, no, we speak to each other all the time, mate. He's probably one of my closest mates of going through footy. He's a great bloke. He just gets under everyone's skin, mate. He's a sorry, can I?
Of course, we don't have to. We can beep it out. We don't have to.
Bit of a
Stir.
stir, and even to his teammates, mate. And I think ever since that day, he never tried anything with me again. So.
I like it. Those are the days. Imagine if that happened these days. It'd be front page, back page. I suppose that did cause a bit of a stir, did it? Did that make the headlines?
No, I don't think so. No, it was
just
all. Yeah, it was. I'm sure that's been happening in rugby league teams for years.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah. Just sort it out. Boys, amongst yourselves. Righto, Keithy Galloway. All right, that's beautiful. Let's talk a bit of footy. When you pulled the pin at West Tigers, then you went to Leeds for a couple of years. Did your body tell you that it was sort of time to hang up the boots, or did you just feel it was right? And second part to that question, how was the transition for you post retirement?
Yeah, well, I'd spent 10 years at the Tigers, 2.5 years, well, pretty much two full off seasons at the Sharks, and then that last 8 games of 2003 where I played things. So I'd been playing here for 13 years or something, and then Dad's Scottish, so I always had a British passport. Yeah, and my body was sort of declining a bit, and the opportunity came to go over there, and I thought, if I don't take it now, I might never be able to get to do it. Yeah, and then so I thought, it was.
Were you single at the time when you went over there?
Sorry,
were you single?
No, I was married. I was married at the time, and then went over there for a couple of years, and my daughter was born there. Yeah, so she's got a British passport too. So it was a good experience. Yeah, Aspen. Yeah, it was a good experience, mate. It was. The people up there, they're really sort of working class, really good people. You know what I mean? In the north of England, and it's good fun. Met some really good people, and did a bit of travelling and things like that. And then, so finished. I had some bad injuries over there. So the first year I snapped my Achilles at the end of the first season. Came back, started feeling good again, and feeling fit, and felt like I was really contributing to the team, and we were going really well. And then my other Achilles went. So I had 2 Achilles in 2 years, and Leeds, we ended up winning the season that year, but I missed out on playing in the back end of the season. But, it is what it is. And then had 1 more year to go, and, the home life wasn't that good with the ex-wife and things like that, and decided, I'm going to pull the pin and come back to Australia.
My God, it feels like I'm surprised you came back from the Achilles and played again, right? Because it's a bloody horror of an injury. I only know because I snapped mine last year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Paddy Richards snapped his as well.
Yeah.
Reuben Porter, who made his debut in Wollongong last Friday, he sat in the chair last week. He snapped his Achilles.
Well, I remember when I did my Achilles, I had people like Paddy Richards was telling me about it, how he came back. Benny Teo, he snapped.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Benny had, or he knew people that snapped it, and to come back, I was pretty proud of myself that I came back from it. But then when the other one went and had issues at home, and I just thought, this I've played long enough. I don't need to prove anything else. And I thought that's it.
I can only imagine, mate. But up here too, what it does to you when and you won't know unless you've snapped an Achilles or had a really bad injury that it's just so debilitating. You can't do anything for quite some time.
It's you basically got to learn to walk again. It's once it sort of starts healing. Yeah,
you try single dad or whatever with a few kids and trying to cook dinner on one leg and pots and pans and crutches and
hats off to you, mate.
Mate. Anyway, couple of seasons in the UK, good times, right? I lived over there for 12 years, and you sort of really you become almost English, don't you? You just fit in with their
I knew I wasn't going to be there forever, and people talk about the weather and that, but you just embrace it, and summer over there is unreal. Yeah. Like the sun's out till late at night.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, all these places in Europe are 2 hours on a plane.
That's the other thing, the travel, right? Where was some of your go-to spots?
Did a bit of travelling with Spain, Portugal, went to the Canary Islands, Italy, Malta.
Yeah, nice. I liked Italy.
Yeah, Italy was good, yeah.
Cinque Terre, did you get down to the Cinque Terre?
I just went to Rome. We just went to Rome, just Rome, yeah.
Went in Rome? Nice. Mate, you would have went through in your time here, now a decade with West Tigers, wasn't it? Most of those years you're probably just missing out on the top 8, right? And how many times do we finish 9th? So you're always sort of in the mix. At the back end of your career, though, the last couple of years probably would have been a bit of a struggle, right? I think the team was more towards the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, we were, yeah.
So things are a bit tough here at the moment. That's an understatement, right? In terms of we've lost a heap on the trot, etc. Well, what would you be saying to those good mates of yours that are now our head coaches, etc., but also the playing group? Despite the results, how do you stay up?
You just got to, between the four walls, you just got to work at it together. You can't listen to too much outside noise. You start reading all these like people on Facebooks and Instagrams and Twitters and that hammering you, things like that. You just got to work hard from amongst each other, and just keep turning up. I know it's hard. I've been there. It's very hard, but the only way you can get up, you just got to get up and work hard at it. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? You just got to slowly progress. And at the start of the year, I thought the boys were really, you know what I mean? I was really proud of their efforts. If we were losing, we weren't losing by much and things like that. But it's just rugby league. Like, we've got some injuries and that, and the weekend was a blowout score, but they've got a chance to get out this week and make amends for it. As long as the effort's there and things like that, the supporters be proud.
I think, bar the weekend, I mean, every game they've been right into it, right, and you could never ever question the effort. You mentioned the injuries there, and it's funny, you have all these in the media and that, ready to throw eggs at you or whatever. No one ever mentions the people that are missing in this squad, right? And I just think at the weekend it just got to the point where that many people were missing, and they just didn't have it in them to stay with the Dragons. And momentum's in this game, once it gets away from you, it can happen all of a sudden.
Well, so even some of those media outlets, mate, look, there's blokes on TV that I don't think they've even played games, and they're throwing barbs at the boys and things like that. They're just like parasites, You've never played a game. You mock the Tigers at any opportunity you get. So.
Any opportunity you get. I like what you said. Keep it in the four walls, stay strong, keep believing, right? And good thing about the game is you get 7 days to turn a poor result last week into a good result. So fingers crossed this week, at Leichhardt. It would be great if we got all 3 grades up. Should be a great day. Your last game, Keithy, for West Tigers. So that was got it here, 2015.
Homebush. Was it against the Dragons?
Yep, it was against the Dragons at ANZ. Yeah,
the first and last game was against the Dragons.
It was too.
For the Tigers, yeah. That's the club I supported as a kid.
The Dragons?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You bookended it. Bookended it with the Dragons. Do you remember that? What do you remember about that day and then hanging up your West Tigers boots?
Yeah, it was emotional. It was a bit emotional. Obviously, I'd spent 10 years at the club, so that was over a third of my life, spending at the club, and I grew really fond of the club. Like it's my team now. It's big supporter, and it was like I knew it was time to finish up, but it was and then it was all done. So.
As I say, we're back at Leichhardt this week, right? And you must have had some great times at this club in your career. And I'm thinking in 2010, that was the prelim final, wasn't it? You got beat by the Dragons. There's that team
in that
again.
semi, yeah. Mm.
Following year again, you made the semis, and you're probably one game away from the grand final.
Warriors, I think Warriors pipped us in the last couple of minutes. Yeah.
So 2010, 2011, good years. Good years, yeah. Could have been better, but really.
Even like 2009, the year before, we started poorly, and we were flying home. We won all these games in a row, and I think it was us or Para in a game leading up to the semis, and they ended up making the grand final that year. But they beat us. They just beat us, and they knocked us out of the top 8. But I reckon if we got to the semis, we could have went all right that year as well.
There would have been some great times in your career at Leichhardt Oval, and I don't want to throw you on the spot, but I will throw you on the spot, right? This is all ad lib pretty much for you. What were some of your fondest moments, do you think, at Leichhardt Oval?
To be honest, mate, it's probably just running out there, and as soon as you get out of that tunnel, you just see the hill. It's suburban rugby league. It's just black and gold everywhere. It's just the crowd. They really get behind you. Like, it feels like the crowd's on top of you, and they always turn up. I've had some good games at Campbelltown too. The crowds are really good there, but obviously Leichhardt's it's just the atmosphere is unreal. It's always packed there. Win, lose or draw, they turn up in their droves.
We will be remembering the late great Keith Barnes on Saturday as well. So it's been 7 weeks, I think, since we last had a home game in Sydney, and we honoured Keith with a minute's silence at Campbelltown, but we were always going to do something once we returned to Leichhardt. So the number 1 jersey will be retired this week on Saturday. So awesome. Jareen Buller won't be wearing number 1. He'll be wearing 21 on his back. There'll be a few other presentations to be made as well, which I think is a nice touch. So, but Leichhardt Oval, it's got its own real feel to it. Phil Gould, Keithy Galloway, Gus Gould. Now, during your career, did you feel that Gus had an obsession with you? He had 2 obsessions, I think. One was Sunday afternoon footy, right, at Leichhardt Oval. Yeah. Gus loved that. Yeah. Right? It doesn't matter that Gus has worked at the Panthers or works at the Bulldogs now. Yeah. As a commentator and a former Origin coach. Sunday afternoon footy, Gus loved that. Yeah. And big Keithy Galloway. Yeah. He loved you, didn't he? Yeah. Have you met Gus? Have you spoken to Gus?
I met him on the Sunday footy show and things like that. I get that asked a bit, but
I bet you do.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
There was this one afternoon at Leichhardt, and it's been sort of put down. I was doing some Googling and a bit of classic commentary from Gus and Rabs, and it was you just missing out on scoring a try. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Playing the bunnies?
Well, the thing on my kids get on YouTube and look for my videos sometimes and play it, and it seems to be every video it's Gus and Rabs commenting on it, So,
they loved you. They had an obsession with you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Rabs too, who turned, I won't tell you what age, had a birthday this week. Yeah. Happy birthday, Dad. We got that YouTube clip. We can play some of that Gus. But his obsession with you, I loved it. And every time he'd call a West Tigers game, and Keithy Galloway was playing, he picked you up. He wouldn't have coached you, though. When you made your appearance for the Blues, it wouldn't have been Gus, would it?
No, it was Sticky, Ricky Stewart.
Yeah. Just the one game, the Blues? I mean, it's great that you got to play Origin.
Yeah, it was game 3, and I think it was a 19-man squad. And I sort of found out the day before I was playing, so day or two before that I was actually going to play. So it's good. It was good experience, really good experience. We came up against a red hot Queensland team, but got to get out there and play. So
absolutely. Beanie for Brain Cancer Round 2, which I must give a plug to, and that's been around for a number of years now, and I think the NRL does a great job with beanie for brain cancer around it. If you can, jump on any of the NRL websites, etc. Mark Hughes Foundation, and you can get your beanies, I think, at Lowe's. Also get them at the grounds this weekend. I was thinking we could wear one in here, but a bit warm in the studio.
It's freezing outside, eh? It would be good outside. Yeah.
So the boys were wearing them on the field at Leichhardt when they run out at all the games this weekend. But again, wonderful work that Mark Hughes is doing in that space. Got some questions from the crowd. Big
Person Rumble match. Get your tickets now at Ticketek.
questions from the crowd, Keithy. Dan from Windsor. Thanks to everyone that sent these through too. Just jump on the socials too, by the way. Insta is West Tigers BTR is the handle there. You can catch us on all the social pages. Dan from Windsor, would you ever consider getting into pro wrestling? I've already asked you that. It's a possible, maybe.
Yeah, I'd give it a crack, mate. Might be, you never know. Like,
there you go.
It'd be cool to start something new out and have a crack at anything, really. Yeah.
Well, let's do that. All right,
Sweet.
let's do it. Let's make that happen. Chrissy Gale from Pro Wrestling Australia. Right, this man, he's going to the top of the tree in pro wrestling. Righto. Kyle from Drummoyne. Kyle or Kylie? I think it's Kyle. Okay, a bit random this question. Would you dye your hair green?
I couldn't dye my hair. I'd have to dye my beard.
Have to dye the beard.
Unless it was for charity or something.
Where's that
probably
coming
not.
from? That's a really odd question, isn't it? Yeah, all right. Yeah, nah. Kerry from Dundas. Who vets these questions, by the way? Kerry from Dundas, your favourite West Tigers moment?
Favourite moment? That's a good question.
Come back to it.
Probably those semi-finals, probably the two. I know we lost them, but
13, was it 13, 12?
10 and 11. 10 and 11.
Yeah.
But that semi-final series, probably just because we should have won a comp one of those years, but it is what it is. We weren't good enough on the day, but just the atmosphere. Like, I think we went out to crowds of, there was 60,000 crowds, and just playing in front of atmospheres like that was unreal.
So the Warriors, they got to the grand final, didn't they? Played Manly, didn't they, that year?
Yeah, so the winner of us and the Warriors were going down to Melbourne to play Melbourne to make because Melbourne had the week off.
Yep.
I think Warriors beat them next week.
Played Manly.
Yeah.
And got towed up. Did they?
Manly won the comp that year, so.
Yeah, I can't recall the score. Wasn't. Yeah. And the year before would have been Jamie Soward's.
He kicked his field goal, yeah. And if we won that game, we're in the grand final against Roosters, and Dragons absolutely towed the Roosters up the next week. Yeah,
there you go. What might have been, Keithy? Daniel D. So I'm not sure where Daniel's from. Oh, I think you've already answered this. The biggest pest you've ever played with?
Yeah, probably Gibbo.
Right.
Yeah, but he's funny as hell, mate. He's funny, one of the funniest blokes you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
But he,
I don't know.
He wasn't so much a pest to me. I think I used to just laugh at him, getting under everyone else's skin.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. All right. And finally, Colin from Lumia. What advice would you give our current playing squad at the moment? I think you've already done that as well.
Yeah, like I said, you got to work hard together. You got to try and keep everything internal. Don't listen to too much outside noise. Listen to your coaches and things like that, and just don't read all these social media crap and people giving it to you, because that's not healthy, man. Just work hard amongst the four walls and get better and better.
Get it done. On those, with Benji and Bomber, Hino, and Robbie, all good teammates, former teammates of yours. Did you ever think when you were running out with them and training hard and playing hard that they'd move into the coaching space?
To be honest, probably not. Like, they're all very smart sort of footy people. Toddy Payton, I played with here, I wasn't surprised he got into coaching. Right. Benji's one of those guys that could have done anything. He's pretty talented, as you know. Like, he could have had a media career or
musician.
Yeah, he can do it. He can sing. He can do it all.
Yeah. I haven't heard him sing. He's a good singer too, is he?
Yeah, he goes all right.
Does he?
Yeah. You have to have a few beers with him. He'll probably sing.
Yeah, okay.
And then
he brought his guitar away last trip we were on, but I didn't get to have any beers or sing with him.
And then, like, Hino's he was always an unreal trainer and fit. So
yeah.
Farah's probably the bloke I've played with who hates losing. Like, he's just just wants to win everything, everything he does. So.
They all bring something.
Yeah, they all
to
bring
the
they all
table,
bring
don't
yeah,
they?
exactly.
Yeah. Keith, you know what time it is, don't you?
About 2:30, 3 o'clock.
My friend, yes, that is probably about the right time, but it's also turnbuckle time. Okay, up on the top rope, all right? What we do, right? 6 questions, 4 points for each correct answer. And we're against the clock, all right? You can't dilly-daddle around too long, all right, before the buzzer comes in. So your maximum score is 25.
Yep.
All right? Joel Kane's got 25. He's leading the leaderboard.
I'm not winning this, but let's go.
No, but I won't bore you with the details. There's a bit of there's been an appeal against Joel Kane.
Okay,
so we don't think he's actually got 25. No, you'll be right. Come on, back yourself.
Let's go.
All right, come on,
Let's
Keithy. All right, let's up on the ropes. Righto. Question 1. Your NRL debut. Okay, you made your debut for the Sharks round 19 in 2003 against the Warriors. It was at Shark Park, then Toyota Stadium. David Peachy was your fullback. Chris Anderson was your coach. Shane Haim was the referee. Can you name your halfback from that game?
Brett Camorley?
Correct. 4 points. See?
Yeah, all right.
Go
sweet.
on. The great Brett Camorley, our
Yeah,
NRLW coach. He's probably just out there if he's not out on the golf course. Noddy. You lost that match, by the way, your debut. 31-24 after leading 20 points to 12 at half time.
Oh, wow.
Does that sound right?
I can't even.
Yeah, well,
I think we lost. I can't.
You did?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, question 2. Your West Tigers debut, round 1, 2006, against the Dragons. What was the score? I didn't say these would be easy.
We got beat, eh?
No, you didn't.
Did we win that?
You won that.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
Round
we did win that.
Round 1,
we
2006.
We won that. Then Gibbo came out and said we're going to dominate. And then I think Ogre sorted him out the next week.
True?
It's all coming back to
just
me now.
keep it zipped.
Oh,
You did win. Oh, righto.
16-12, I don't know. I'm just,
No, you're stabbing, aren't you?
I'm stabbing, yeah.
You are stabbing. You won 24-15. So, okay, you're 4 out of a possible 8. Question 3. In that same game, your West Tigers debut, can you name the Dragons player who scored all 3 of their tries?
Stabbing again. Gasnier?
Sorry?
Gasnier?
Mark Asnier, correct.
I got it. Sorry.
Well done. Okay. 8 out of 12. Going okay. Alrighty. Question 4. In your 173 appearances for West Tigers, Keithy Galloway, did you score 5, 6, or 7 meat pies?
7.
Is that your final answer? Remember that one we just heard from Gus was disallowed.
I'm just trying to think how many nudie runs I've done, eh? 7?
Well, if that's your final answer, you can go with that. But I'm just saying to you, remember that one that was disallowed?
Well, I think I'm wrong because you keep questioning. 6.
Correct. 6 tries. Correct, Keithy. All right. 12 out of a possible, 16. You're going great guns. All right. Bit of club history here. Now, these 3 players have played 200 or more games for West Tigers. Robbie Farah, 277. Benji Marshall, 257. Chris Lawrence, 253. True or false? Chris Hyington has played 200 or more games for West Tigers.
True.
Correct. 201 games for Hyington.
He's in the 300 club, isn't he? He's played over 300 NRL games.
NRL, but
Yeah.
this was West Tigers.
Yeah, okay.
201.
Yeah.
Well done. Jeez, hang on. You keeping track of this? He's on 20, the big fella. He said he'd be no good at it. All right. Okay. Question 6. And then we've got the bonus point. Which of these 3 West Tigers forwards scored the most tries for the club? Okay, of these 3 forwards, which one of them scored the most tries? Okay, I'm going to give you their names and the number of games they played. Bryce Gibbs.
No.
Hang on. 155 games. John Skandalis. 185 games. Anthony LaFranchi, 102 games. Which of those three forwards scored the most tries?
LaFranchi?
Is that your final answer?
Yep.
Trust yourself.
Yeah.
Correct. Anthony LaFranchi, 102 games and 18 tries. Wow. Mate, you've rocketed to the top of the leaderboard, Keithy.
Sweet, I'm going all right.
What's he on? 16. 20. He's on 20. So you need one more and you get 21 points. A bonus question to get a maximum score of 21, which is right up the top, Keithy. You might be in running for the car.
Let's go.
If not the car, it'll be a fruit bowl or a case of beer.
Sweet.
All right. Let's get you the car. Final question then. We have a final bonus question. Now, this is pretty tricky. This is for the bonus point. Now, you know that you are West Tigers player number 94. You know that?
Yep.
I know that. We all know that. But can you name either West Tigers player number 93 or West Tigers player number 95? So these guys would have played with you.
Ryan O'Hara, one of them?
Oh, man.
Jamal
Right, hang on.
Lalisi? Jamal Lalisi? Ryan O'Hara?
Well, hang on. Is this your final question? Ryan is number 96. So what were you saying?
Jamal Lalisi?
Jamal Lalisi. Yep, 22 games. 22 games.
Sam Harris? Is he?
No, you're right. You got the money.
Oh,
Jamal
good.
Lalisi.
Oh, got it.
West
Sweet.
Tigers number
Yeah.
95. Well
Well,
done.
we both-
Round of applause for Keithy Galloway, ladies and gentlemen. 21 out of a possible 25.
Not bad.
If we can sort this car out,
Yeah. I didn't know what the question. I thought the question was going to be about West Tigers history and stuff like that. I wasn't
well,
sure.
it sort
what
of was. I
yeah.
mean, that was asking what number player Jamal was. Mate, don't argue with it. You've
No,
done
it's
well,
right.
all right? So we haven't got a car sponsor yet, but if we can, any particular brand you'd like, if you do get the keys,
anything that drives, mate.
what are you driving now?
I'm
mate? I
easy
bet you're in
going.
a ute.
No, just in a 4-wheel drive for the kids, though. You know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Did you ever drive a Kingston?
No.
No, I thought that might have been with you young fellas.
yeah,
no.
no.
Anyway, no. Keithy, great to see you, mate. You're looking great, and thanks for jumping on board and being a part of the West Tigers alumni. We didn't get to really talk too much about that, but you're really pleased to be on the work that you guys will be doing for the club going forward, I imagine.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's also the boys that kicked it off and that. It's unreal. It's good to sort of get amongst the boys again and, catch up with old friends and things like that. So it's a good concept.
Yeah. Say good day to all those old boys too out there on the wharf. Yeah,
Sorry, mate,
and we'll try and we should get a scratch game together. Former alumni players against the Wharfies.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be something? Hey? Again, thanks for jumping on board and take care of yourself. And if I can swindle something, with the Pro Wrestling Australia boys, you're up for that.
Well, give it a crack. Yeah,
We'll give it a
sweet.
crack, hey?
Yeah.
Give anything a try once. There he is, cult hero, West Tigers player number 94, Keithy Galloway. Great fella, and it's great that he did find the time to come on Behind the Roar. All the best to all three grades at Leichhardt Oval this Saturday. Do get out there if you can. Jersey Flegg and the New South Wales Cup taking on the Warriors, and then the NRL team is up against the Gold Coast Titans, 3 o'clock kickoff. So hopefully we can see you out there. We'll do it all again next week here on the Behind the Roar. Until then, take care.
Behind the Roar, the official podcast of West Tigers.